I'm going to refer to a tool that we talk about in Human 101 that I know you'll be familiar with. It sounds like, is that true?
Okay.
So that can be a very powerful thing to just draw on. And when I'm thinking about, she says, you're calling it a summit, to which she says she calls it a summit, or whatever that piece is, then I would pause and say, oh, hold on. It sounds like you're thinking, it sounds like you're saying blah, 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 blah. And then make it an interpretation. Is that true? I'm confused about what just happened right now. Or with the other one, you can teach a workshop. I would stop and say, it sounds like you're wanting to remind me that I can't teach a class because I'm not certified and I can only teach a workshop and that I need to call it a workshop. Is that true? Is that what you're trying to convey right now? Yes. She likely would say yes. Then I would say, I know that. Thank you. Right? So there's a way of using it sounds like, is that true? In a few, it does a few things. It slows down the conversation and it interrupts the everything is just moving along and it gets your voice in the room. It builds awareness of what just happened. It names what just happened without any necessarily any wrongness about it. There's no shaming. There is a, ooh, I feel confused and disoriented in this moment. I want to locate what's happening right now. And sometimes just doing that can be enough. It can be enough to have made a point because it brings your subjectivity back in. Let's just jump from that for a moment to the other question you had, which is if we were going to have a conversation with her on the back end, I'm going to play out for you in an ideal world how this would go. In an ideal world, I think I would lead with care for her. Remember, we always start with like the micro moment. We always want to ground the conversation in whatever the most recent thing is or whatever piece I want to choose. And it could be something like, hey, could I just have 10 minutes of your time? I just want to check in about something that happened. I want to build some understanding and I could use your insights. So I would probably open it like that, some version of that. And then I would say, I left the other night and I had said, I want to teach a class. And then you had corrected me and said it was a workshop. Do you remember that moment? Right? Like I would just very neutrally be like, whatever moment, you can pick whichever one you want. But let's say it was that one. And she would say, yes, well, you're not certified, blah, 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 blah. And yes, I'm so glad we're talking about this because, that moment gave me pause because I realized that I was really taken aback and feeling a little bit uncomfortable. And I realized I wanted to check in with you if there's anything going on between you and me and if you're okay. There have been moments where I feel like your tone of voice has been brittle and harsh. And I know that when that happens for me, it's usually because I'm super stressed out and there's things going on in the back of my life and it's leaking out. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to find out how you are, how it is running the group, if there's anything that you want me to know about, if there's anything that I should have in mind so that I'm not taking that too personally. And now, very likely, most people will brush that off. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay, great. Well, then, actually, I think I actually have a request for you, or I want to tell you something about me. And then I would change it to, do you remember the time when you said, this or that? I'd try and describe a moment where the other person could say, yes, I remember that. And then I might just explain, or I might reveal. In that moment, I noticed that my feelings were a little hurt, or I was really taken aback and surprised because I don't like to be spoken to in that tone of voice or to be interrupted or to be corrected in front of a group. And then I would, with the speed of light, give her a request, not don't drop it there. And I'm wondering in the future if there's some way you'd like to correct me, if you'd be willing to do that outside of the group instead of with other people. Or if you'd be willing to slow down and say it to me in a more gentle tone of voice, or whatever it is that you want, but throw out a concrete thing that she could do that would fix this thing. And that for you would represent a movement towards care for you. And then I would find out what she does with that.